Hello, this is Jasmine. I'm working on a piece here of one of my favorite animals, and that's a jellyfish. And I'm working with my semi-new Winsor and Newton watercolors. These are the first fancy high quality watercolors I've ever gotten. They were over $100. I don't remember exactly how much. It's been a little while since the actual painting and the voiceover now, but I'll do my best. So the first thing I did was the sketching and the line art, but I didn't bother to record that. I figured the most important thing here is the watercolor, and I went in with some masking fluid just to get that little kind of flowery looking part at the top of the jellyfish. I'm not sure what that's called. I think that might be where all the tentacles and everything connect, though. But I don't know. And I'm going in with a wet on wet technique. This is the first time that I've ever done this, so I was hoping that it would turn out good, and I do really like the final result. So I just put a layer of water down on the whole bell of the jellyfish, and then I go in with some blues, and I don't remember exactly what color I used, but I do know that for the ruffly part of the tentacles in the center, I remember that I used Payne's Gray for that because Payne's Gray is now one of my favorite colors, and I didn't know that. I thought, oh, okay, this watercolor set comes with a gray and a black, and that's cool, whatever. But then I started using the Payne's Gray, and it's got kind of this bluish tint to it, and it's just gorgeous. But all of the colors in this set are really beautiful. Uh, So for the outlines, I used a micron pen because that's not water soluble. So as long as I let it dry for plenty of time, it's good to go with watercolor or with alcohol-based markers, which is very nice because I have Copics and I thought I might need to touch this piece up with Copics. So microns are a very good way to go for that. And they come in a variety of colors and a variety of nib sizes. I tend to use the 0.2 micron. It's my favorite. And the paper that I'm using is a mixed media paper. It's just this really cheap mixed media pad that you can get from Walmart. I don't remember if it's the Canson XL mixed media paper or the Strathmore mixed media paper, but they're both very, very similar, and I really like them both. And it's in a not quite an 8.5 by 11, but a little bit smaller pad. I find that it can be really useful to work in a smaller watercolor and smaller marker pieces and stuff because I don't stress myself out as much. I can just sketch something cool up and color it without it taking hours and worrying about taping down a bigger piece and all of that stuff. I just go straight in and work on something cute and small. So I want to make a bunch of these kind of relaxing, slow-paced videos. Well, not super slow-paced, but videos that I'm just kind of sitting here rambling and not really worrying about heavy editing. Those are the kind of videos I like. I mean, all that editing is cool and whatnot, but I don't need a video to be super professional quality with super fancy cuts and jumps. And I do really like B-roll. It's cool to get all the cute video of the paints and the water swirling and that kind of stuff. But as far as the professional cutting out every single that someone makes, cutting out every single pause, I've realized that I'm just not super into that. So I'd like to make videos that kind of reflect that, relaxed. This is just me talking while I'm painting, or this is just me talking about what I am painting, because that also relieves the pressure on me. I I'm not necessarily going to be able to be painting full time as like a job, or certainly not making videos full time as a job. So the easier I can make it on myself, the better. And I think that everyone still enjoys that, or at least the niche that I'm going for. I'm not going for millions of viewers, you know. I'm going for the people that like the kind of stuff that I do. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I like to do and talking about whatever I feel like talking about during the video. And obviously, I want to put out some tutorials for you guys and stuff, but I'm not gonna try and cut everything out and make everything perfect. Like, if a car drives by in the background, then a car drives by in the background. That's just how it is. um, and yeah, so you could probably even hear the jingling of my cat playing with her toy. But I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that actual piece. I wanted to go for a watercolor tattoo kind of effect. I don't know if any of you are familiar, but I have been familiar with a style of tattoo called a watercolor tattoo for a while, and I'm kind of obsessed. They're just really cool. And you have like some black outlines or colored outlines. Colored outlines I think are especially interesting. And then there's like a lot of color, and it really embraces the appearance of like watercolor splotches and splashes and drips and all of that, and I just think that's really cool. So I didn't add any of like the watercolor drips or particularly like splashes, but what I did do is I took some water, and with the same kind of wet on wet technique, I made these big wet spots on the canvas, or the mixed media paper as it were, and I just dropped pigment in there, and I think that it turned out pretty cool. I definitely need to practice that. Not that I'm going to be a tattoo artist or anything, um, but I think that it'll just be a really cool type of technique to learn. And I know that there's some YouTubers that I follow that have done this kind of thing. I just haven't obviously paid enough attention. And I did that with the tentacles. I didn't do that with the bell of the jellyfish because I wanted to leave that very crisp and clear. I loved how the gradation turned out. And I was kind of surprised by that because mixed media paper, unlike watercolor paper, tends to absorb much faster, so you can't blend or lift as much. And I was worried that when I dropped the pigment in, some parts of it would have dried and it wouldn't like spread as nicely, but it did spread very nicely. So again, 10/10, I can definitely I can definitely recommend the Canson XL or the Strathmore mixed media paper. I found mine at Walmart. Like, it's always just in the painting area. That just about sums up this video. I think there's only a couple minutes left. I'm doing voiceover separately, so I'm hoping I'm on the ball there about what I'm talking about, and if not, just bear with me. And yeah, I want to thank anybody that's watching this. I think it's awesome, and thank you so much for supporting me. And you can find me on Twitter as Jasmine Zelmer, or on Instagram as JZ Fantasy Art. I post, well, I try and post quite a bit to both of those socials. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back with another video, hopefully fairly soon. Again, I wanted to make a bunch of these relaxed videos. Part of the reason I haven't been is because I moved and I haven't had access to some of my recording material and my art programs. uh, but yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, and thank you so much for stopping by.